Welcome children. Let's start our new chapter, that is light, sound and force. In this chapter, we will study about luminous and non-luminous objects, what is light and shadow. Then we will come to know about that light, what is the path of the light. Then we will identify different types of sound, and at the end we will study about the various effects of force. Let's begin with light. The sun is the main source of light on the earth. When the sun rises, it is a day, and when the sun sets, it is night. So what is a light? Light is a form of energy that enables us to see the objects. We people are able to see the objects only due to light. When light falls on an object, we can see the object. Like the sun, bulb, tube, light and candle give out light. These objects emit light. And some objects like book, table, moon, chair, they do not emit light. These objects which reflect light. So the objects that give out light are called luminous objects. The objects that give out light are called luminous objects. These objects are also known as the sources of light. The sun is a natural object, so it is a natural source of light. The bulbs, tube lights and candles are man-made objects. So these are the man-made sources. Moon, earth, chair, these are non-luminous objects. They do not emit their own light. The objects such as trees, chairs, books that do not give out light are known as non-luminous objects. We can see non-luminous objects only when light falls on them. Students, can you tell me what is the path of light? You might have observed the flow of water in a river. Does the water in a river always flow in a straight path? The water follows the path of the river. The water always follows the path of the river. The water goes in the same direction in which it moves in the river. So can we say that the light also behaves like water? No. So let's find out with the help of an activity. Take two tubes, one straight and other curved. Light a candle. Point one end of the tube at the lighted candle. Look towards the candle through the other end of the tube. Do you see light at the other end? Now repeat the activity with the straight tube also. Now check, do you see light at the other end? Students, you can see, look at the pictures A and B. Do the activity in the same way. Now notice that in which type of tube you are able to see the candle. The light, students, you will observe that the light does not bend through the curved part. We won't see any light at the other end of the tube. It is because light travels in a straight path, unlike the water in a river. Shadows. You might have noticed a dark patch on the ground while walking outside on a sunny day or under a street light. You can see here this dark color patch is known as shadow. It is formed when an object blocks the path of light. Here in this picture you can also see the sun is at the top of the buoy. Light do not pass through this buoy, so the shadow of the dark patch of the buoy is formed. This dark color, this black color image that is formed, that is called shadow. The outdoor shadows are longer in the morning and evening. They are shortest at noon. You can see here the sun is at the top, at the head of the buoy. At this time, the shadow of this buoy is very short. They are the shortest at the noon. Remember, the shadow is always black in color. Now let us perform an activity to form different shapes of shadows. Students, you can perform this activity at home. In a dark room, take one torch, try to form different shapes of shadows by placing your hands in the path of light. You can try different shapes and you can ask the other person to identify which type of animal it is. Identify the animals shown here by their shadows. Try, try it at home. You enjoy. Shadow is a dark patch formed behind an opaque body when it is placed in the path of light. Students, window panes are mostly made of clear glass. When the sunlight falls on them, they allow it to pass. When the objects through which light can pass, these are called transparent objects. Here you can see glass. When a light falls on it, it passes through it very easily. So these kind of object, when the light passes through which the light can pass, these are called transparent objects. Like clear water, glass are some examples of transparent objects. We can see through such objects. The objects through which light cannot pass. These are the few examples of transparent objects: glass, lens, clear plastics, air, water. Objects that do not allow light to pass through them, these are called opaque objects. Opaque objects always block the path of light. That's why images form, shadows are formed. The objects through which light cannot pass are called opaque objects. Examples of opaque objects are brick, wood, cardboard. These are the examples of opaque objects. We cannot see through the opaque objects. Opaque objects form shadows when light falls on them. What is sound? We hear various kinds of sounds all around us. Some examples of familiar sounds are the bark of a dog, music, chirping of a bird, the ringing of a school bell, the mew of a cat. We also produce sound when we speak, sing, or laugh. Clapping. Sounds may be pleasant or unpleasant. What do you mean by pleasant and unpleasant? Pleasant sound is that makes us happy, that we enjoy. Pleasant sound is soothing to your ear and make us happy. And unpleasant sound that we do not like, that make us angry, disappointed, anxious, or sometimes we get irritated. Like you can see the example like chirping of words, we enjoy it. Piano, music of piano, laughing. Unpleasant sounds like honking of the vehicles, firing crackers. So these sounds we do not like, these are the unpleasant sounds. So it's a loud and unpleasant sounds is known as noise. It disturbs people. Too much of noise can damage our ears. Thus, soft and loud sound. Loud sounds are sounds that are high in volume. Soft sounds are sounds that are low in volume. Activity: sound is produced by vibration. Let us perform an activity to create some pleasant sound. Take 7 identical steel tumblers. Half fill the first tumbler with water. Fill other tumblers with slightly higher water level than the previous tumbler. You can observe the sound. Now play them by striking a fork on the rim of each of them. You can create an interesting sound. You can listen it and you will enjoy it. Too much of noise can also damage our ears. Thus, to reduce noise, we should always speak softly to each other. Don't honk unnecessarily. Use low volume horns in your vehicles. Don't play music loudly. Avoid firing crackers at the time. of festivals and celebrations like marriage, procession, etc. What is force? Students, what do you do to open a drawer of your table? What do you do to open the drawer of your table? Yes, you pull it. What do you do to close the drawer? Yes, you will push it. So, the students, this push or a pull is known as force. This push or pull is called force. A boy, you can see, you have noticed that people used to push the wooden things, wooden cart, a horse push the wooden cart, and many other examples are there. So what can force do? Force help us to do many things. It can move things. You can see in this picture a force can make an object move. Force can make a moving object stop. The force applied by the hands of a goalkeeper stops the moving football. Force can change the direction of an object. You can see in this picture the direction of the football. The direction of this ball changes when a batsman hits the ball. It can change the shape of an object. You can see here the shape of the dough changes when a boy applies force on it. In this way, force is very useful for us. Thank you, students.